Hello, my name is Robbie. On here I'm Templar Knight. Everyone who believes in God but does not attend a church has a story why. But it's said that whenever two or more gather in God's name, that He is there. So this is church. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Tonight, we are finishing up our restoration series. For the last 4 months, we have done a series about building cars. We've done a series about building faith. And I'm sad to see it go. I still love what we've done here. But all good things must come to an end so that new things can begin. So tonight, we talk about these cars. We've completed them. These cars are fully functional, operational machines of faith that are out, taking us through life. So tonight, we form car clubs. When I was in high school, one of my first... No, it was after high school. My first major ministry after high school was a car club. We called it the Godside Riders, and we all put crosses on our rear windows that said Godside over it, and we put neon lights and stereos in our cars, and we'd hang out at the church parking lot and just be goofballs. Sit around with a bunch of teenage kids talking about God's love. Working on our vehicles, like actually working on cars. And that mattered to me. I still remember driving, having the neon green lights under the car illuminating the street, having my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, driving her car side by side, Godside Car Club stickers on it, having the youth kids with us, just going out and showing out. So many great memories from being in that car club. I mean, really, what was a car club? It was just the group of us that came together to put stickers on our vehicle, and that's about it, really. Like-minded people who wanted to hang out with a passion for our vehicles. So now here we are. Mostly like-minded people. Hanging out, getting together with a passion for our faith. With a passion for growth, with a desire to learn and become closer to the Lord. I'm going to hop right into a Bible verse. I'm going to start out with it's Hebrews 10, verse 24 through 25. It says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting each other, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as we see the day approaching." That's what we're here for. To help each other grow towards love and doing good things. To not neglect our time together. I've had friends who did not fit that verse. People in my life who, nowadays, we would almost call them, the phrase is toxic. Well, that person's a toxic friend. They have a toxic influence in my life. Because it's a negative pull. Sometimes even with people that I consider my friends, I'm good with, sometimes I'm accidentally toxic. I don't mean to be. But sometimes I am. Sometimes I take a joke too far. Something puts me in a bad mood and I feel the need to lash out. Now in this letter to the Hebrews, it's reminding me that I need to be the exact opposite of that. I need to be encouraging to the people around me. I need to inspire them to do good. Let them see that I can do great things and that I believe they can do great things. That's what this is about. Coming together and forming a group, essentially a support group. Hello, my name's Robbie, and I'm a sinner. I've been clean for about 20 minutes. Hi, Robbie. I come together with a group of people to encourage me to do better. You come together to a group of people in hopes that they can encourage you to be better. That's what this is about. Finding that relationship with the Lord that inspires us to grow, brings us closer so we can be more like Him. That's why I'm doing this. I hope that's why you're here. I hope that not a single person watching this is here because they feel like they have to be. Well, this guy came and watched my stream for a few hours this week, so I better show up to his. At least I know he's only going to talk for a half hour, and I can probably ignore. Although I appreciate you being here, that's not the heart you need to have. And if you need to skip some time, take time off, by all means do. I want you to come here with the heart open to learn, to reach, say, God, I want to be here. I want to grow. I want your impact in my life. And maybe if that's not the way your heart is, be here to just watch and learn. Maybe something I'll say will stick with you. And later on you'll be like, oh hey, I remember that one time way back in the day when that strange guy on Twitch said something. I remember that. Be here open to learn. But don't just be here like that. When you're with your friends, when you're with your family, when you're with your real life inner circle, not just the people who exist on the internet, be there to encourage growth. So often, families hurt each other more than anyone else could. And I don't know why. Thankfully, I've been blessed with being kept away from a lot of that. But for some reason, because we care for someone, we hurt them worse. And I don't know why. I wish we didn't. But if we are capable of inflicting so much pain so easily, then the reverse should be the same. Imagine what would happen if we supported people, like over the top, supported them. Not just showing up, not just saying, hey, how was your day? What if we went out of our way to help people succeed? What if we took out all the scorn and condescending that came with someone needing help? Have you ever known someone that you were afraid to ask for help from? Maybe a teacher in high school. I don't know the answer to this, but I don't want to ask them because I'm afraid of what their response will be. A coworker. I'm having trouble figuring this out, but I don't want them to mock me if I have to call and ask a stupid question. What if there was not that fear with anything? What if you knew the people around you would help you if you asked. Like, not just help, like supportively get behind you. I'll do that. If you ask me for help with something, I will actively support you. I will help you. I will not mock you or belittle you, no matter how simple or trivial it is. I will encourage you. How many of you are the same way? How many of you would help someone if they asked? Not just help them, but encourage and support and be behind them. And not mock them or belittle them for their shortcomings. I'm willing to bet just about every single person here. But now my question, do they know that? Do they know that that is where your heart is? My last ministry that I led, I was teaching physical and spiritual combat. It was called Battlegrounds. It was for a group of high schoolers who, when I showed up at the church to start a program for them, had way too much energy. So to help them release this energy, I said, I'm going to teach these kids how to sword fight. And so we made weapons with PVC pipe, fun noodle, and duct tape. Because you can hit someone with that and it doesn't hurt. And we learned how to fight. We learned how to battle. Every week we would go out in the parking lot or in the lobby of the church and we would fight with these fun noodle weapons. And it was a blast. And then we'd have a lesson that would tide over into what we learned about fighting. And one of the most important lessons fits true to tonight. What we had a ladder, a ranking system that said who was the best. Normally you don't want to do something super competitive like that, but this was fighting. This was about competition. And starting at the very bottom, we had a few of the middle school girls who were scared and didn't quite want to fight and play, and then it worked their way up, and it found its way all the way top, where I was the best fighter. Now, granted, that's not fair. I'm the teacher. I'm an adult. And I'm sword fighting with these kids. But I was the best because I was in the mix with them. And one week, we decided to do a challenge. I first fought the lowest person on the rank. Beat her in a few seconds. She then joined my team. And we fought the next person. Beat that person too. And then that person joined my team. Then we fought the next person, and the next. 4v1, 5v1, 6 versus 1 person. By the time we finally got to some of the bigger high school kids who actually had some skill, they were fighting 7-8 versus 1 person, including myself. They didn't stand a chance. And by the time we had beaten everyone, got all the way up to my number 2 guy and beat him, there's like, looks like I win. Like, well, that's not fair. You had us outnumbered. It's like, okay, let's do a test on power or strength in numbers. The first 5 people I fought, I will fight you 1v5. Now, I'm good, but I'm not 1v5 good. I spent most of the match running away, parrying, trying to stay away from them because I can't fight 5 people at one time. And when they finally cornered me and had me trapped, I looked to all the people who were standing back watching the fight. And I called out to them and I says, hey, help! Mike, Trey, Chris, help! I'm in trouble, help me! And as I started calling out their names, the benches cleared. They came running in and they beat my 5 attackers. I win. But the kids who were fighting me looked like, that's not fair, you can't do that. I'm like, why can't I? Because you were supposed to fight us alone. And that was where I got them. So we sat down for our lesson. And I told him, I am the biggest, I'm the strongest, I am the best fighter here. But even I will come into a fight that I cannot handle. So what happened when I got overwhelmed? I called for help. And you people came running. Who here knew I was going to do that? No one? Who thought it was okay because it was against the rules? Was there anyone who second guessed it for a second? Well, it's supposed to be a 1-on-5. I can't jump in. No. I called for help, and you all came running. Now let's look at our lives. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest, but I'm the one here teaching. My faith is strong. But there are times when even I can be overwhelmed in this fight. And I looked out at these kids and I says, if I'm ever in trouble and I need help, who can I call? Who will help me if I'm in need? Every single one of them raised their hands. And I looked at the youngest, shortest kid in the group, the last ranked fighter, and I said, repeat that question. And she came and she stood up. And I sat down in the group. And she looked out and she was shy and scared. And she says, if I'm ever in trouble and I need help, if I call for help, who will come? Had her sit down. Next person. Kid steps up. If I'm ever in trouble and I need help, who will come? Went through every single one of those kids. Every single one of them knew that that group had their back, that they had someone they could call. Do you know who you would call? Have you ever asked, if I'm in trouble, can I call you? Will you come running to help me? In the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 14. After I looked things over, I stood up and I said to the nobles, to the officials, to the rest of the people, do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, who is great and awesome, and fight for your families, your sons and your daughters, your wives, and your home. That's a call to arms. When we are hurting, we are in pain, ask for help. And when someone asks you for help, you come running. You fight for them because they need you. I expect nothing less from any of you. You know I would do the same. Let the people you care about know that you care and that you will fight for them because they're important to you. You are important to me. If you need me, I will fight for you. I will be there for you, to support you no matter what. Come to me if you need help. This week's homework. Repeat that to everyone who needs to hear it. To the people you care about, let them know you are important to me and I will fight for you. I will support you in your time of need. Because I'm sure they know. I'm sure deep down they know you would help them. But maybe they just need to hear it. I wrote a prayer this week. It is the reflection of what we've done here these last 4 months. I'm calling it the restoration prayer. I'd like you to join with me in this prayer. Man, God, what is up? How are we doing? Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. Lord, I ask you to be our firm foundation, that you would keep us moving forward, always growing closer to you. Lord, grant us the strength and the power to do your will, and protect us, that we will always feel safe in your presence. Lead us, Lord, that we may show the world your love. And let us find peace and comfort in being with you. Grant us the wisdom to see our flaws and love us through our failures. Let what is inside of us be a reflection of your Son. Keep us observant, that you can use us to see and fulfill the needs around us, that we will look out for and protect each other in our times of need. Lord, light our path when we are lost in the darkness. And let us shout out to the world that they can hear of your love. Help us let go of what is holding us back and to hold tight to what strengthens us. Constantly show us your path, that we may live our lives in service to you. Amen.